Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I don't know. We started doing this like little just yapping series because I don't know, felt like we didn't have any distribution power like in the city that wasn't owned by.
In what sense, though?
Just like it was hard to get the word out when any of our friends were doing anything. So many different styles, like
I noticed that.
verticals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started doing this thing. Dan and I started writing music together. Like, well, he's been writing for a long time, but we started working on his projects like 2 years ago, and then that was like our first little test run of pushing things. So yeah, now we do this thing. It's called Friends of Friends, and I guess you're like a friend of a friend.
Yeah,
So,
literally though.
yeah.
Connor, right?
Yeah, Connor. He mentioned, oh, you're wearing a Never Easy hat.
That's his.
There we go.
That's, yes.
Yeah.
Shout outs, Never Easy.
Good placement right there, right off the rip.
Yep.
Yeah, we met Connor at like just a random party one night. Went to shoot pool, and he was there, and he had it to hell. So I had
You're
to
like,
ask what was
"What's
up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've been chatting. I think you guys have been working about music too. Yeah. Yeah.
You work with him?
We'll see what happens. We're playing around with some ideas.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He lost his entire, like his laptop got fucked, right? He lost all.
I swear you told me that when I saw you.
Yeah.
Or something.
Maybe, yeah. Then
Yeah.
he got sick. I think he's good now because he just sent me a demo like last week. But yeah, well, let's hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have to go over everything you do because I think as much as I try to explain what I do,
Yeah.
you probably have the same problem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So how would you describe what you do? Actually, you know what? Wait, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Name first.
Name first. I have many names. I go by Violeta for like my DJ name, and my photography name is Viov, and my real name is Laura. But like since we live in Canada, no one knows how to say Laura. They just call me Laura. So I just like started this whole alias and went down that like road.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And now the harder part. What do you do?
What do? I do a lot of things. I honestly would say I'm like an experimental artist. Definitely have always like tried to experiment with video and photo and kind of like non-conventionally edit things sort of, because I feel like I've always had like shitty equipment, so it's always kind of like whatever I have to transform into something interesting kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Experimental
And I make
artist.
music
That makes
as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean apparently?
I don't know. I've not dropped anything, but I'm
Okay. I'm in the
hoping
exact
to.
same boat. Welcome
Yeah,
to-
you too, right? Because I feel like I was like watching all the interviews before, and I saw that you interview a lot of people that also have a lot of unreleased music.
Yeah.
Why is
just
that
happens
though?
to be our friends. We're all
We're all just like shy
guess.
kids,
I don't
shy
know.
artists.
yeah. It takes such a huge effort to push anything out. I mean, I don't even.
It's scary.
These guys have like 4 projects out or something. I saw. I don't know. I saw 4 people. 3.
Projects?
Yeah.
One album.
Okay, sick. But you've done a good job of making it look like a lot more. Sick.
Yeah, right.
I mean, even to get Dan's project out, it was like a 4-person effort.
Yeah,
A lot of the production and the post-production took me like a month. And then we had to get through all the visual direction and shit, somehow pull it together with like no team. Yeah, same deal. Just
yeah.
throw it together somehow
Myself.
and get it out.
Yeah, I feel like where I'm at right now with my music is like I've worked so much for other artists in terms of like their visual stuff that I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, what am I doing for my music? Like, what's my rollout gonna look like? But like, I want it to be organic, and I don't know.
What's that mean? What's organic mean?
I don't know. I don't want it to be forced. I want it to be like something that I just drop, and it's like I do a little visual too, but like the people that know me will understand it.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta-
don't know why I'm so shy about it. I should stop being shy, but
I don't know. I'm not the right person to try and talk you out of that.
do you not have music released? Or
Under
what?
my own stuff? No, but like I have 3 albums out under like all of these folks. I've done Dan's project, I've done Norby's, I've done like two hardcore projects, but that was like
Like you produce
high
them?
school.
You
Post-production, production, like some of it was writing, yeah.
cool.
I don't know. There's something about, honestly, I know what it is. I can't, for me at least, I can't write anything that I don't immediately find corny within like 2 weeks of writing it
Really?
pretty quick.
Why? Why are you
know.
cringing at yourself?
You tell me, I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel that though.
I have no idea. And it's also just so hard to pick styles. We just like, I want to do a hardcore project with Dan. I want to do like
I
a
know.
psytrance project. I want
That's
to do
my thing right now.
like
I'm
a
like,
pop project with Norby and
yeah, I feel like I've been working on my sound for so long. Like since the pandemic, I like downloaded Ableton and I've finally had the time to like learn to produce music.
Sure.
And it's just been so, like, I just don't know. Like I lived in Colombia for a while, so I was kind of like experimenting with like Latin rhythms, and now I'm back in Montreal
Yeah.
and it's like super dark, and I'm like, all right, like how do I...
you can just walk in, dude. It's not that serious.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What's your drink of choice?
Apparently, however you say this, Lowenbrauer.
Never seen that. What is it?
It's German.
Oh, it's a Pilsner?
It's from Belgium,
Oh, sick.
probably.
It's topical.
Anyways, yeah, it's been finding my sound has been...
Yeah.
I think that's why I haven't released anything, because I'm not at my final
Well,
form.
you said you started during the pandemic. That's pretty recent. We're racing. Let's see who gets them now first. I'm betting it's not going to be me.
We'll see.
I'm almost
I want to
certain.
hear your stuff. I want to like...
It's a lot of like psytrance techno right now, just because I don't know. I feel
Just
weird.
because...
I've written a lot of demos for like the team we work with. That's a lot more like singer-songwriter instrumental shit, but like I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just good at forcing other people to drop shit. I think that's been my
Because
role
you
so
want to
far.
drop shit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
That's you
I'm
projecting.
fully living through them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vicariously.
yeah. I hate it, but there's a lot of times I hate it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. You got your start visuals. You moved into doing more musical stuff recently. I think
Yeah.
I saw you were doing some like live visuals recently. And
Yeah, I did Sojourn Festival.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys heard
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah, that was really interesting. They like gave me a room and like a hallway in the whole festival, like the ISO loft. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do something different where I take visuals and I put them in AI, like pictures, and I put them in AI and it kind of animates it. So I kind of went off that.
sure.
And it was cool.
What do you work
Everyone
with
loved it.
in terms of tooling?
In terms of tools, for that, I worked with a website called Runway AI.
Yeah.
Plus like Photoshop, Lightroom. Like I'll like put the image in Lightroom and like fuck it up, and then I'll like pass it over to Photoshop and like expand it with the AI
Yeah.
stuff, and then put it in this next program where it like animates it, and then I'll put it back into like Premiere, Final Cut, and
Sure.
like...
As much as I hate on Adobe all the time because
I hate Adobe. I hate Adobe.
They're so good though.
I
It's so
hate it.
good.
It is really good, but I've had to learn to like it. But it's just too many steps sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's good for like if you're trying to do this long term and be organized and like,
Yeah.
especially as a video editor.
Sure.
But
Are you in Premiere mainly or After Effects?
mainly, you know what? Final Cut Pro. I'm gonna be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dan does most of his content in Final Cut.
Honestly,
and that
it's
blows
just
my mind.
so much more to the point, and it's like I like
I
seeing my
guess.
clips. It's very
guess, I
friendly.
guess.
Adobe's like,
Oh, I
haha,
hate
like-
the Adobe editing. I'm in DaVinci like full on.
And I want to get into DaVinci. I tried. I was like trying to learn the nodes and like.
Yeah.
I feel like for color grading, it's very helpful.
Honestly, I kind of just started there, so I couldn't really compare. I've only spent like a total of
Do
an
you-
hour and a half, and
You edit as well, or color
yeah,
grade? only?
we do everything.
You do everything too.
Yeah,
It's
we have
like-
to.
Yeah, we have to. I feel like we're at the time where it's like if we don't.
We're gonna be putting shit out at like a turtle pace.
Yeah,
it's not
because
gonna
then you're
work.
waiting on the other people, and like the other people don't really know your vision, and it's like
Yeah. So
I'm very fan of that. That's
Yeah.
why with my music, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own videos. I'm gonna do my own pictures.
Yeah.
When? I don't know,
Yeah.
but eventually.
well, your own pictures?
Yeah,
oh,
like,
for your
take-
pair with like your records, or
I guess like yeah, album covers, like press photos,
okay. So I am curious about
Instagram presents or whatever the fuck.
I am curious about that. Why do we have to have music to do that? I haven't been able to figure that out for myself.
Why do we have to what?
I don't know how to present myself as like anything. I don't know how to present unless you're a musical artist. How do you
do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's why it's interesting. Like I feel like I've always worked on that part for artists. Like
Yeah.
they come to me for like press photos or like Spotify photos, Spotify like
Mhm.
reel edits. It's really interesting. I don't know. I think the process is like understanding the music, also the audience that you want to promote to, and like the
Do you feel like you
aesthetic.
have to pick before you do it though?
Pick what?
Like what you're going to present. That's my biggest hesitation my shit changes way too often for it to make any coherent sense. I'd be like schizo posting.
No, I know.
Every couple weeks.
I'm not the right person to ask, to be honest, because I also like just do photo dumps. But I think it just depends. Like, you just have to have like a solid project and like analyze it and be like, all right, like this is what I'm painting like digitally. But then in my eyes, I'm like, I know that should, like, social media is shitty. But
sure, but I mean, there's something to it. Like, you got to spend X amount of time on a project to have enough. I don't know a good word for it, but like enough substance to present.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what format. Doesn't matter if it's social media or if you're going to take it to somebody and show it to them. It's like,
yeah,
you can tell when someone spent like 15 minutes on an idea.
Yeah.
And rushed out to show you. I haven't found a way to have the stamina working on my own shit. I think that's another problem. Working on their stuff, first thing I do is like, extrapolate what they're trying to do, put my own spin on it, and then it's just a couple hours of work. But like when you're starting from scratch, it's like you have no idea where this starts and stops.
Yeah.
And that
it's hard.
Throws me for a loop every time.
Every time. I feel like it's just a matter of releasing shit. Like I recently just started like releasing demos on my SoundCloud, and like no one really knows, but it's there. It's like an archive. It's kind of like, do you know King Cruel?
Yeah.
Do you ever just like go back into his SoundCloud like years? No.
Can't say I've done that. No,
I've done that because I love him. But you see his like old demos that have never been posted on Spotify. I'm like, I want that vault. Like, I want to have that.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to start posting shit now that like if in 5 years I've posted a song and it's like hopefully has views or listens, I can go back, like my fans or people that love me would go back and like see my like the trace of how it all started. Like right now I don't really have a microphone even.
Yeah.
Like my microphone broke and I'm just using my headphone mic.
Yeah.
And like I've been joking around with all my friends whenever I show them my demos. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna call my EP like headphone mic.
Sure.
And it's gonna be like an image of a head, like a little shitty like
you
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
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 That's where I'm at.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
I'm like, that is the lore. That is what it is.
Yeah,
that's my rollout. That's my picture image rollout aesthetic.
Okay. When's that coming?
I don't know. Eventually.
Yeah. Fuck.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It will happen soon.
Yeah. This is making me pause just because I'm hearing a lot of similar sentiments, just things I've told myself.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's the mixing. I kind of know how to mix, but I'm also like, I'm not that good. And then it's like, who do I give my music to for it to like be mixed the way that I want it to be mixed? Because I don't want it to sound like Katy Perry. It's not, no offense to Katy Perry, but I don't want it to sound like pop. But, you know, like I want certain, I need that relationship with like a mixer engineer kind
for sure.
of thing.
It's just back and forth. It's a lot of back and forth for sure. That's probably about it. Yeah. I mean, we could do it.
Yeah.
We'd give it a shot.
You guys can do it?
Yeah. I do all of our post-production.
Sick.
Him, like, I think I'm juggling like 5 artists now who are all radically different post-production. So, yeah, it'd be fun.
Nice.
We'll throw it out there.
What kind of genres do you guys mix?
Dan does. He's moving into a little bit more hardcore shit, but it was like post-punk, math rock. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys been to Montreal?
I haven't yet. No.
You haven't been to Montreal?
Not as like an adult who does this for real. So not in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I definitely intend to.
Yeah. It's fun out there.
I know you know like Lando and Kafaya and those guys, I think, because saw you at their spot.
From before, yeah.
Yeah. So
before, yeah. Years ago.
I know those guys have made a pretty big habit of going back and forth. So, I mean, it's on the list. We just came back from New York last week.
How was it?
That was pretty fun. Manhattan's kind of shitty.
Really?
Yeah, Brooklyn's okay.
It's hectic out there.
It's not even that. Maybe we just went to the wrong spots, but everyone I talked to in Manhattan just made me a little bit
uneasy.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were talking about trying to leave. I'm like,
yeah, I feel like, when did you go?
It's like a week ago.
Yeah, it's like winter vibes. Like everyone's
just like, I want to run away to the mountains. I'm like, no, you don't. Just they talk like.
Yeah, they're over the city jungle, concrete jungle.
I don't know. Something about it was just icky. That's the only way I can put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we met a lot of cool artists. Shout out Mel. I'll play you some of his stuff after. That guy's crazy. He's dope. Cortez is another friend of ours who has been doing really well for himself. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying we do. So yeah, we did Dan's like Dan's project that's like emo adjacent. Then Norby's project was like poppier, some more R&B. Connor's stuff has been whatever, you've heard it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I do
Super
like all
cool
my stuff, all the electronic shit. I do Delo's right now too.
Delo as in DeLorean?
No, but not DeLorean. But I have met DeLorean once. I forget where.
DeLorean
Black, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I went and met him. It might have been at, do you know Michael? XCC?
Maybe.
Like he does clothes, younger kid, blondish hair.
Yeah.
I think I met him at one of his things.
Yeah.
way back.
I actually shot him once in Montreal.
Nice.
And he showed me his music, and then he rebranded. He took everything down and rebranded.
Michael's doing a runway thing right now. I think he's doing.
He's like a
Toronto
model
Fashion Week.
too, right?
No, he makes clothes.
Oh, he makes
Some crazy stuff too.
Oh, what?
Not even just like.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
We're all just doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you DJ?
Got into it 2 years ago. I've been on it pretty aggressive since then.
Sick.
So hopefully.
Me too.
Yeah.
A year ago.
Nice.
And I've done like a couple gigs and stuff, but.
What kind of stuff? What are you into?
I don't know. I'm like really into mixing like. Well, because I'm in Montreal right now.
Sure.
I started DJing in Colombia, so it was a lot of Latin club, like Latin rave,
Sure.
guaracha. But now it's kind of like I want to show my duality where it's like I'm from Colombia, but I'm also like from here.
Sure.
And Montreal is has a very distinct sound. It's like trying to mix like witch house with like Latin rhythms, if that makes sense. You know, Crystal Castles.
Yeah.
Like I want that vibe with like dembo and like.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Very abstract.
No, I can imagine it.
Very particular, but I love like drum and bass, liquid, dubstep.
Do you want to mix it in? Do you want to perform it in like a more open format style or more as like sets?
I think open format sets. I'm still having fun. Like I think that whole medium is such a new ground for me that I'm just like I'll practice and I'll just mix like a post-punk song with like drum and bass and see what happens. And like how do I like once I'm looping it, like how do I make it work? Like how do I like transition into the other song? Like it's been a whole but it's been fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you? What do you mix?
I got really into like hard tech.
Sick.
Psytech, psytrance, like Goa psytrance.
Super fun.
And then I also really like the resurgence of like speed garage and like Katama, Malgrab, Chris Stussy, Indira, another incredible DJ. Yeah, I also just as performers, I really like them too.
Is there a scene for that in Toronto?
Yeah, not regular. There's
it's
an
like
industrial
underground.
scene. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like Geary kind of.
Yeah, like
vibes.
Apollo, Format, Combo Breaker. Combo Breaker's kind of a little bit all over the place. They kind of do whatever they want. But I've seen a lot of stuff. Like I Hate Models just came on Saturday. Went to see that. That was packed. Like packed out. It was fantastic. Great show.
Super
Richie
cool.
Houghton was down a couple months ago at Lithuania House. It's that church on
Lithuania House?
Yeah, it's like a church up on Bloor, I want to say.
Okay.
It was fucked. It was so hot.
It was hot as in like
I could
crazy.
see the steam in the air.
Everyone was on Molly.
No, it was just like gross.
Everyone has no shirt on.
It was
Just,
so
like,
gross.
fun,
Great show though. Yeah.
I love getting sweaty at raves sometimes.
Yeah.
Not as much as I used to.
No,
but
I think I'm over it.
I'm a little over it. I'll go for like the music and like the, discharge, like just like dance around. And then I'm like, all right, I should go home. So it's like before it's like 12 p.m. or something.
Damn,
just
leaving
like
before
somewhere
12 at the rave.
Yeah.
Gotta be blasphemy or something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just thinking through all the stuff I wanted to ask you because
anything.
You've been one person that, at least through what I've seen online, has kind of reminded me of like what I do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I've been calling it creative production just because a lot of the work has been getting things across the finish line.
Yeah.
Just making sure we actually get stuff out. The experimental artist thing is kind of cool. I haven't really thought of it that way. On the visual side, have you started playing with like anything procedural, like anything live or...
No, like Touch Designer?
Yeah, like Touch Designer.
No, I haven't. I'm scared of technology.
Fair.
I feel like it's very...
It's a good means to an end. Touch designer is not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I know. It's just one of those things I feel like you just have to download and like play around with like a whole night.
Yeah.
No, I haven't really... Well, actually, Resolute.
Resolute?
I guess like during
that is kind of
Sojourn,
procedural. Yeah.
I hooked myself up to Resolute.
Mhm.
And like I was just kind of chilling there, and like it was interesting to watch people dance and like react to music as I'm like also curating the visuals to like the BPM or like what effects go with like what sound.
Oh, you were
and,
like VJing the entire time?
Yeah, it was like I VJ'd for
sick.
like, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I think that was my first time actually. Like they gave me like a board and
Yeah.
everything, and I could like...
Sick.
I was so into it.
Yeah, of course. You got to
And at one point, the lighting guy like left, and he's like, "Oh, like if you want to do lights too," so I'm doing like both. I'm like,
That's dope.
oh my god,
It's such an important part of that experience now. Like
it really is.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yo,
get it
and
done
like I
now.
couldn't like I just felt so good because after like people were like, "Yo, you're doing the visuals. It's crazy."
Yeah.
And then someone else that like is someone important to me that also does a lot of cool stuff. They saw the videos. They weren't there, but they were like, "Yo, like you actually." That was like the coolest part of that festival is like these visuals. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Toronto doesn't really have that in mind much.
I don't see it often unless it's like
No.
a stage like EI or something. I don't see it
I kind
often.
of got lucky. Like I got really lucky with that placement, and I was just told to do whatever I wanted, and they trusted me. And
Did you meet
was
the
sick.
organizers?
yes, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
sick. So you could do it again, kind of thing.
Hopefully, I
Yeah.
should have like. That's the thing with me. I'm like very low key. I'll
Sure.
like if I got called for something, I'll like do it. But like that's the business part of myself where I'm like, if I actually want to get work in this and like do
Yeah.
more of this stuff, like I need to be more like, hey, like hi, this is me and da da da.
Yeah.
I forget about that sometimes because I'm just like I don't want to come off as like needy or which is not it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But
No, fair enough. I mean, if you don't,
but you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, oh, I'm just like here.
fair enough. Yeah. but you've done a
I'm
bunch of
shy
cool shit.
girl.
Okay, so I'm gonna get out of my own way. I could ask you a million questions about like technicals of production and like what you've been up to, but like, what's your whole reason for doing all this? I've thought about it a lot. I'm like, most of the time it really sucks. It's like a slog, and I'm tired, like not sleeping
Yeah.
much.
Not so burnt
Competing-
out as fuck.
Yeah, competing against deadlines that only I care about.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so I mean,
literally.
I think I know why I do it, but I'm super curious as to
Why do I do it? I feel like I'm just always looking for like this ascension.
meaning.
Meaning like I'm just always looking to have like a project under my belt that I
Yeah.
can like show people and people understand my aesthetic. I think for the past 3 years, I've worked hard enough that I have people come to me for my photography project, Viov.jpg.
Yeah.
For like they hire me for my work
Right.
and like kind of how I see things and how I film things, which has worked in my favor. But yeah, I do it for that. I do it for just to have fun. I love it. I
Yeah.
love doing all of it. I think at the end goal, now that I'm doing all these different mediums, like I work with all these different mediums, it's more like how can I use all these skill sets into like incorporating it into myself, my own projects, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've worked with a bunch of people and like I understand deadlines, I understand how certain interfaces work. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
It's kind of, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think the end, now that I'm like a bit older, I'm like, okay, I've learned all these things, I've worked with all these people, I've done all these projects, and now it's like, how do I use that to my advantage, to my personal career and projects,
Sure.
aka music, aka
Like you as an artist.
yeah,
going
me as an
forwards.
artist.
Sure.
Which took me a while to realize that, like, yeah, that's my title. I'm
I
an
mean,
artist.
ultimately, yeah, that's what
like,
you want out of all of this for sure.
I do it for that. I do it for like self-realization as an artist.
Okay, so your goal
honestly.
isn't to like do commercial work per se in the long
No,
run.
not at all.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Which is like it'd be great.
It's a distinction.
Sometimes I think
though.
about it. I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? Like, I would love to do commercial work and like make a lot of money, but at the same time, if I can just like coast off freelancing and like, yeah, like I think you know what I mean.
No, that makes sense.
It's strange, but
Not really.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Definitely not strange. At least I hope
Yeah.
it's not strange. I feel like I'm on the same page.
Yeah, you too.
Don't-
How do you feel?
I have no like commercial pedigree, so commercial work would be like a whole different.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I've tried to do it, and
Yeah.
it's like I can do it, but I'm not technically there. I didn't go to school for that.
Yeah.
Like everything I've learned is very autonomous, like very much like YouTube or like just trial and error. To like first time I picked up a camera, I had no idea how to use it.
Sure.
And I was like at a shoot, my shoot that I set up, and I'm like, okay, fucked up a bunch, but then you learn FPS, like frames per second, like speed, S&Q, like all these settings that you need when you're filming video. Huge.
Same deal. I mean, everything's been super ad hoc. Figure it out as we go. Lots of mistakes. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm curious just because I made like a very conscious decision that I'm not going to pursue commercial. And that's a little bit freeing, I guess, in some ways, just because now, you know, you don't have to split interest. You can ignore things about your like one creative discipline that you just don't need to worry about. And we've got a lot of people around us that are just like extremely good technically to take care of those details. And I mean, this is probably unnecessary to be this anal about it, but I've been very like, I've been a strong proponent of the fact that I never want to ask somebody to do something that I haven't tried to do. And I never want to manage somebody that I haven't done that particular role, even on this team. Just like, I have a really hard time passing things off unless I know
delegating
exactly what I'm passing off.
Huge thing. Yeah. I recently just started doing that. Like I've been getting like artists with bigger budgets for music videos, and I feel like it's been very hard for me to like delegate tasks. But
Are you on as a producer or like a director?
Like at this point, I'm like directing, filming, and producing. But I also have like my team of like the makeup artists and like the stylists that I've worked with before. So I keep calling them back, and like I've created that team, so I don't have to stress about that. But I'll still make the mood board and like send it to them.
Sure.
But I'm also like, I would love to have someone to film and like to edit, and then I can just like produce it and like creative direct it. But like even right now, I'm like working on a music video, and I have to like, I'm like doing the budgeting. I'm like on Excel, like, okay, like the studio is going to be this much.
Okay,
and
that's
like,
what I've been calling creative production. Like,
creative production. But like, I've never really like done it. Like I used to just be like, all right, let's meet up and like shoot.
Sure.
Let's start shooting, and like, that's it. And like whatever takes I have, I'll just make whatever which is cool. But it's also like, I just want to see what I can do if I'm actually organized and like have that, like make a call sheet and like, you know.
Yeah. So what do you have coming up? What are you working on now?
What am I working on now? I'm going to be working with an artist in Montreal called Dawn Cadence. It's actually a big project because she messaged me wanting like a trilogy project where she has like a 3-song EP, and she's kind of like, I want a whole video for it. Like a Sampha process kind of, I don't know if, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So it's been a lot to like just break down and be like, all right, like how do we take these 3 songs and like kind of bridge them together and make it work in one like video piece.
Sure.
/ like what she wants. That's what's happening soon. I also have another video coming out with this artist from Paris called Sonely.
Sonely?
Sonely.
How do you spell it?
Sonely, I think.
I'll cut this if it's not. No worries.
But yeah, he's a cool guy too. These are all people I've met in Montreal. Sure. I love Montreal. Shout out to Montreal.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very fun place to like meet open-minded artists.
Would you say you're mainly based out of Montreal? And then
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to live I was born in Toronto, but I left mid-pandemic, and then I just kind of come back and forth from Montreal. But like
Montreal's
Montreal,
kind of new for you too.
I mean, it's been 4 years, but it
Holy
is.
Shit.
Yeah, since the pandemic, kind of,
something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I love Montreal. It's a very crazy, fun plaza. It's just, you know, if you're like really, really an artist, you'll find artists out there that are like willing to. I was able to grow my portfolio out there. Yeah. A lot faster in here, you feel like? Yeah. I feel like here it's like very commercial.
You think?
Sometimes. Really? But you know what? I won't lie. Like every time I come back to Toronto, I feel like I'm seeing that there's more of an underground community happening. Like, I mean, like Kafaya and them have always been like the underground that I know. Yeah. And I know they're still doing their thing. Yeah. And I love it. But other than that, it's been like, maybe I just have to tap in more kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I feel like it's such a big city, honestly.
It
Montreal
is.
is like a little town.
Fair.
So it's like,
Just
it feels more
collision,
tangible,
maybe?
but yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
having a hard time saying no to projects at all? Is a lot of stuff coming to you now to the point where like you haven't?
No, I wish.
No, I mean like,
Well,
it's not necessarily a good problem.
I have a hard time saying no when I'm like, because I'm also working on myself as an artist, and now all of a sudden my hobby has become it's become my career.
Yeah,
So I'm like, all right, like
that's
I have to
definitely
make
tough.
money. Like I'm freelancing off this. So
Yeah.
it's like every day is like, okay, I have a project, someone else's project. I have to work on it and like delegate. And then it's like I'm also working on myself. I just kind of feel like oversaturated a bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
How do you balance that, or how do you even attempt to balance it?
Saying no to certain things, like when people like still want to work with me, I don't know. Yeah, it's how do you delegate? How do you delegate
don't
and
really.
and say
There's
no
only-
to things?
Honestly, there's a very small core team that I can like really trust to get their shit done.
Do you have your own team? You would say?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
I'd say Dan is definitely on that team. Like anytime we need to knock out an idea, especially if it's like more adjacent to his style.
Yeah.
Usually all it takes is like a quick brief and a message, and like I'll have something back in like a day or two.
Yeah.
Which is great. Norby is the other person we started this whole like operation with, or I started this whole operation with.
This podcast.
No, this was like super ad hoc. We'd already put out 2 albums, and we're just like, it feels like we're throwing this into nowhere. We might as well build an audience like with the friends and familiars we have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully this is valuable to people, not because of what we talk about, but more just the fact that we do chat.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything that important to say, and most people, if they're at it long enough, will figure all of it out for themselves anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I mean, like, if we put out a project next year, we already have like whatever, like 100 more people watching for it. So
Yeah.
or we can directly send it to. Just like little wins, I guess, in the meantime. But I'm still like,
Little wins.
yeah, definitely little wins.
Little big wins.
That's all. Truthfully, over the last 3 years, I feel like that's been the biggest, I don't know, learning. It's just like go for the little wins, go for them quickly, and then keep it moving.
Yeah. Is your big goal to like have like a team, not a big team, but like a team that you can rely on for production? Because it seems like this
Not
is
really.
mostly production work.
Not really.
No.
I'd love
Just
to be able to
testing
like,
waters.
no, I'd love to be able to fire myself from this like soon. That'd be great. Get someone else to do it and just keep it going. Yeah, I really just want to write and like make records and kind of forget about everything else. But I could do that now. There's no reason I can't, but it just feels like the rest of the operation and all the momentum will just disappear if I do that. That might be my ego, but I think it's true. So
Start getting people to dial in. Man.
it's impossible. So someone's got to stay dialed, and
Yeah.
he's pretty wired up. I'm pretty wired
Sick.
up. So that's fine. At
Amen.
least you're getting
Amen.
stuff done, man. Yeah, I need you to stay focused on your shit. Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
How about you? How's like your direct team or
My
community?
direct team. I'm expanding.
Sick.
I used to think that I could do everything myself,
Yeah.
but that's one way to burn out and
Sure.
cry every
Yeah.
night. But
Yeah. You have to. You got to hit that wall. I genuinely
yeah.
think you have to hit that wall.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like I started filming and editing because I felt like I had the most control, but it gets to a point where it's like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like you kind of need other brains too to bounce off. Like I think the most successful projects I've had is when I have someone else sitting beside me editing with me and I
Yeah.
can just bounce off like, hey, what do you think of this? Or
Yeah.
like this aspect ratio crop or
Yeah.
like this color grading here. Like,
Sure.
what was the question?
I don't know. I
Sorry.
have no idea. No, it's chill.
But yeah, I'm just going off on a tangent.
Oh, your team, your direct team.
My
yeah.
direct team, I'm expanding. I
Yeah.
feel like, it's been something that I didn't go to school for this, so I'm kind of like realizing more and more that there's some technical aspects to it that you need to learn in order for it to be more efficient and
Sure.
to be like
Yeah.
quicker, like in and out, but also like effective.
Yeah.
My team is growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
And it's mostly like I just always try to collaborate with cool like artists that I find in whatever
Yeah.
city I'm in.
For sure.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I think ultimately, yeah, that's all we do too. We just look for like organized
creatives.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Keeping it organized, I guess, is the tough part. Keeping it feeling like professional and serious is the
Yeah.
hard
That's why I
part.
started doing like call sheets and like Excel sheets for
Yeah.
like budgeting or like
100%.
location, like
Your
shot
production
lists.
house too, then.
Yes, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had to be because I'm like sometimes things are just more efficient when you have like you know what your shots are and
sure.
what scene and like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what lighting you need and like
Yeah.
you know like art decoration. Like sometimes I've shot things so improvised that I'm like, oh, it would have been super cool if we had like candles or like
Right.
if we had this styling
Yeah.
or like that would have been way more effective than all the effort we did to drive 5 hours into like the farms
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't
100%.
know. That's like kind of
That's-
where I'm at right now.
That's
like,
the shit I want to
think
fire
it
myself
out.
from.
Yeah.
Like ultimately.
Have people do it and
Yeah.
then like you just send like a PDF of like or your treatment, your mood board and
Yeah.
then like people that know how to do that do it.
For what it's worth, I think you're just paying your dues right now. Like if nothing else,
Yeah. We'll see.
I think you'll get to the point where you
Yes.
don't have to deal with all the intangibles.
Yeah.
We were having a chat with a friend a little while ago, and just creative direction I think is kind of like the ultimate goal. It's where you get to kind of come up with the concept, figure out the basics of how you're gonna. Well, actually, I don't even think you touched execution, but like you just come up with the concept, deliver it to the team, production figures it out, does it. That's a little too removed, but I think creative production is kind of like where you're still involved in the initial conception, and then you stay involved through the rest of it.
Yeah.
Figure out how you're going to do certain things. Figure
And
out
how
the
to make good
technicals.
money from it.
Haven't figured that out. So if you,
It was funny, like maybe a year ago, not too long ago, a year ago probably. I got contacted from this creative agency in Miami and they wanted me to sign a contract with them and they were going to pay me $7,000 US a month.
yeah,
And I said no, only because like the contract that they sent me said that I would have to basically give up all my like immediate and small projects that I'd be doing by myself with
Yeah.
my name. So
Yeah.
basically they'd be taking my creative ideas and stuff for their like hub, like creative hub, but I couldn't put my name onto it, if that makes sense. Like I would have to like basically boycott my side project, my photography creative
Yeah.
direction project.
that's tough.
And they would like, I would give them ideas, but like I couldn't have my name on it
yeah, okay.
kind of thing. And I also couldn't do my own thing. And I was like,
That's a little too restrictive.
I mean,
for,
like it's good money for 3 years. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
that's-
like maybe this is my way out. Maybe this is where my career starts. And then like I started to read the fine print and I was like, I don't know. Kind of sounds like I'm going to be selling my soul.
I mean, if you can't stick your
Okay.
name on it, even that's
That's crazy.
That's
you're
pretty nuts.
literally like just because you're paying me a month, like monthly, a good amount, doesn't mean that
yeah.
like where's my integrity as an artist or like as a creative director even, or I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be in this for a long time, there has to be some momentum and some like residual.
Yeah, I'm like, there's
Work
no
under your
rush.
name.
I'm
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like I'm at that point where it's like I'm almost 26, almost 27. But it's also like if I can ride it out and like still figure things out on myself by myself, it's like, you can make your own team. You can find
Yeah.
sponsors. You can write grants.
Yeah.
You can like
I feel like
figure
people
out.
have a habit of making things sound way harder than they actually are.
Yeah,
Most things just take like a good amount of time on target,
figure it out. Yeah.
and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So get pretty good at detecting like bullshit once you do everything yourself for a little while.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty useful. Anyways, beyond all that shit, like what is actually interesting to you right now? Whether it's like other people doing records, seeing anything good, just like what is it? Are you a reference person at all? Like I know,
Like Pinterest?
no, just like even consuming things. We have a friend who has been directing for like 8 years, and he specifically says he doesn't have any like
References?
or like notable directors or like directors he thinks are great, or like I just feel like that was pretty interesting and weird and different. But
Yeah. I am a reference person.
Yeah.
I'm not as much as like most people though.
Sure.
Because I have a friend that like seriously takes that. Like they work at Essence.
Yeah.
Shout out April is Blue. But they literally reference everything like it's a magazine.
Yeah.
Like they'll take pictures of like the microphone and put it on like a blank. Like they'll make it look nice in like their little archives.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know. I reference life.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know. What was the question again?
Oh, that was really it. I was just like,
I took it to a whole different thing.
or do you like? I'm also kind of an archiver a little bit. Like I like to do shit like make playlists or like maintain my letterbox and shit.
Yeah,
just, like stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
Do you do things like that?
I do. Not as much as I should. You know, like I
really don't know if there's
recently,
any benefit,
like when I'm producing music, I was producing with a friend not too long ago, and they would do this thing like halfway while they were producing, they'd open up Spotify and listen to a song that they wanted to remake, like kind of like
that would fuck
get
me up
like
so
references off. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, because I've always been the type of person where it's like, you should just create your own sounds. Like, fuck splice, fuck sampling, which is not true. Now I'm more like, I love splice, I love sampling, but I used to hate it a lot more. I'm like, MIDI only MIDI, VSTs, that's it. But now I'm like, actually, if it is interesting to like, you know, make like a little loop and then like probably like listen to an artist you really like and maybe drums, like listen to the drums or like stem separate and like observe or analyze like how that certain melody was made, and then you can like integrate it into your own thing. I think I've gotten more open as an archivist, if that's the question. And like sonically, I don't know.
I told you there's no specific questions. We're just shooting
I'm
shit.
just like abstractly answering the questions. But yeah, I do believe that it is important to reference things. I used to not though. I used to be very, and like, which is cool because I used to have just like my own way of, my own aesthetic, my own palette. But I think in a day like today, it's important to have a reference because we are like involved with like the internet and community, and like people kind of need to feel at home with something. Like certain niches need to familiarity, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
How about you? What do you feel? Do you listen? You don't like listening to music while you produce?
No, just mostly.
It fucks you up. It fucked me up too.
Mostly
but then
just because
sometimes I need like a drum pattern. I'm like, okay, the kick goes here, and then the snare, and then it's like, all right, you know. Yeah.
I just mouth it out or something. I don't know. As soon as I get something else, truthfully, no. It's my biggest thing is if I listen to something and it's better than what I'm making, like I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, mine's ass.
Like I'm like ready to throw it out immediately. So I try really hard to make sure I don't destroy my fragile little idea while it's still being built.
I know.
Because it's
which is like, what do they call it? IDM music? IDM? I might be saying that. There's like a certain way to call like smart electronic music, which is like
smart electronic.
Yeah, it's like electronic music that you listen to and like, you know, the producer put like a reverb on the hat, or like they're like really like creating like these like pockets of imagination sonically. IDM, is that what it's called?
God damn.
Yeah.
Holy
that's
shit.
Like,
could have gone without knowing that. That's crazy.
When someone told me that like, oh, that's what I do. So it's like, maybe I'm not crazy and I just want to make my own music and I don't want to listen to anything else while I'm producing, and that's that. I
mean, honestly, if you can get shit done, that's it. I guess it really doesn't matter. I still haven't been able to get anything done is my bigger problem. Like I think the last I looked, I had like 25, I'd say 80% finished tracks. I don't think they're getting past 80, at least not alone. Like they're probably stuck there. As far as like the whole IDM thing goes too, like when I started producing music, my first instinct is always to like break everything down to its simplest step, learn it on its own, and then try and use it. And that is terrible for the record.
What do you mean by that? Like when you're producing, you strip it down to a certain, like a baseline, or?
No, like when I was initially getting into making like beats or whatever in general, it was like the first thing I did was absorb literally everything that was on the internet. So like,
interesting,
just up all hours of the night doing basically nothing but watching YouTube videos, making like a 10-second loop. Okay, next. And just keep repeating that. And then you just have like this weird fragmented base of knowledge that's completely useless, like once you go to try and make something from scratch.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I can post-produce, and I have a really hard time starting from scratch. I think I shot myself.
Post-produce as in like someone gives you like what's already been produced and you like
somebody gives me something like even mostly done, I can take it across the finish line and then mix and then master. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely shot myself in the foot on that one.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah? Wait, I kind of want to hear. Can you like put something on?
Right now? Yeah, I'll definitely put some crazy shit on after. He actually showed me something crazy too.
Yeah, that math chord.
Holy
Math
shit.
chord.
That
kind of sounds like something I'd be into.
I'd be listening to that for the last 3 days nonstop.
IDM kids. That's what I love.
Yeah, what was
like
your...
Charlie does like shoegaze, new metal.
Some of that. I got to listen to that whole thing.
And I'd never heard that genre in my life.
Really?
Like heavy alternative shoegaze, like gaze, like just gaze. The word gaze. Adding it onto everything is like my new thing.
Sick.
Like maybe I make witch house gaze.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be like the only witch gaze records in my record box.
We're in the time of genre mixing and creation, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
What were you listening to like coming up?
Like as a kid?
Whatever that
like
means.
When I was
I just have to say
born.
coming up. Just...
I've always like I grew up listening to jazz and like salsa. My mom was like and Enya. I don't know if you guys know Enya.
Yeah, singer.
Yeah, my mom used to like just blast Enya Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
And give me like mango and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. But like recently I've been really into
what about like your formative years where you started picking for yourself? What was like the first couple things you can remember?
Definitely like R&B, Crystal Castles, Drake at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know, a bit of everything. Post-punk a lot too.
Okay. Like Warped
I'm
Tour
all over
post-punk?
the place. What?
It was like Warped Tour post-punk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just everything. SKRILLEX.
Yeah.
I got to tour with him once.
Oh, no way.
It was crazy.
What was that? That's a story.
Yeah.
Let that fly. Let's make sure we get that on record.
I get really shy about it.
You don't have to. I'm just...
No, I will.
Okay.
I will tell you guys. Yeah, it was super random. I was living in Colombia like 2 years ago, and I got a follow from SKRILLEX on my photography page, and I started freaking out, and I was like posting it on my close friends. I'm like, oh my God, haha, SKRILLEX just followed me. And then a week later, he messages me. He's like, I love your work. Would love to call you and like pick your brain about your work and like how you do things. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. What the fuck? And then I have a phone call with him and he's like, oh, like I just love how you just shoot things and I can tell it's very candid and your style is very much like editing and colors. And I'm like, wow, like I love you. You're like amazing. Thank you so much for saying that to me. Your music has inspired my entire, like, I just remember listening to like cinema on like my BlackBerry Curve when I was 12 and like feeling like the coolest person.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he like flies me out to LA. We hang out. I'm like hanging out with him in Fortet in the studio.
Sick. 2 years ago, eh?
A year ago, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember like that was like my first like enlightenment in terms of like, someone just flew me out, not only because of my photography work, but also they had seen that I had a highlight on my photography page that was all music.
Yeah.
And they were like, I want to hear your music. And I was there in LA with him and like Fortet. I played like random demos that I had. And I was so nervous. I was like, shitting, shaking, and every whatever. Yeah. And it was a lot. And I just remember him being like, I kept pausing the song. I kept being like, oh, like it's not done yet. It's a demo. Oh my God, doing the typical shit you do when
you're
like...
have to leave the room, hit play and leave.
Nah, for real. And I didn't. And then he was like, he like took my hand. He's like, just let it play. I'm like, okay, I'll let it play.
Goddamn.
And I did. And he was really nice about it. And then one thing led to the next. I went on tour with him as a photographer. But I think my whole theory with that is that he just like thought I was a cool artist, young artist.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to like bring me around.
Yeah.
Like and that's what happened, and it was amazing.
Sick.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, shout out SKRILLEX. That's super
Shout out
nice.
SKRILLEX. That was definitely formative years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like with him hanging out, and he's like making beats on his Ableton, and like yeah, life is crazy.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
What do you use for music?
Yeah. What do you use for? You're Ableton.
My
now, right?
DAW Ableton.
Yeah.
But
What
I'm
do you-
Ableton 10. Like I've heard there's like a 12 and 13 now.
12 just came out like last month, I think.
Yeah. I want that. How about you?
I'm
What
on
do you do?
11. But we kind of use everything. I just kind of use whatever the guys
Like
need.
that's where I'm at. I'm like I kind of want to learn Logic because it has an AI stem separator, and I feel like
I don't-
that could
I
be
don't think I've ever
cool.
used it.
You know, I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to jack someone else's bass line
Yeah.
or something, or like get inspired from it.
Yeah. Listen, reference it.
Reference
obviously.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just use whatever. Dan's in Logic. Norby still uses FL. I make most of my shit in Ableton. I started on Reason. Actually, I started on Acid.
Reason. What's I've never heard those. Like,
Reason?
is it like a Fruity Loop type
Uh,
situation?
Reason?
For the old heads.
Reason.
Shoebase and shit.
Nah,
Shoebase?
Reason's its own.
Shoegaze.
Shoebase?
Oh no, I was saying Cubase.
Cubase? Yeah. Reason and Cubase was what I started on.
Exactly. And Pro Tools.
Never touched Pro,
Pro
Tools.
Tools, that's what I-
Audacity,
not
yes.
Fruity Loops, I
Crazy
meant Pro
drum lines on
Tools.
on Audacity.
Yeah, like that's where I'm at. I just want to like learn everything. Like same with like video editing. It's like if I know DaVinci, I know I can color grade off there, and like
Yeah.
Adobe's like little things, and then Final Cut's like the first base.
Really hate Adobe, eh?
I hate Adobe. I hate it. I'll
Just
love
the video
it soon.
stuff?
I think it just gets. I like to know what my clips look like, and I know there's a setting.
Swear to God,
for-
there has to be a setting.
There
if
is
that's
a
your
setting.
Only gripe.
I know, but
have
I
other
don't
gripes.
like.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't like
Fair,
it.
I'm not trying to change your
I'm
mind.
stubborn. I'm
Yeah,
Taurus.
fair enough. No, if you're getting it done, you're getting it done.
No, but same with music. I would like to learn like different programs just
Okay.
for like, because I know Logic is good at sequencing like
Don't.
drums.
Just
No?
don't. Just make your records. Trust me, it's a fucking trap.
It is
Getting into all the little weird
You
nitty
think?
gritties. Kinda, because like I don't.
interesting.
How much does you can sequence in anything?
You don't like Logic?
I do. I
Yeah, Logic's sick, but
Yeah, I've never really dabbled. I feel like maybe I like it.
Ableton's probably better for.
I love Ableton. Ableton.
Unless you're
Someone
recording
once said to me that Ableton is a sketch pad because you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's like
They
you
just thought
can,
of a lot of things, like even just being able to highlight the MIDI clip and just move it without hitting anything in between.
Yeah.
it's like it's just a nice quality of life thing for when you're experimenting.
Yeah,
Logic's just like
very to the grid.
I think Logic's better for like recording.
tracking. Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
mixing. I do all the mixing in Logic too. I bounce
Really?
everything out to Logic.
Yeah, I have a friend that mixes on there too. I'm like, you'd think Ableton would be for mixing though,
Nah, Logic's just nice and easy. Busing system's
Busing,
way
yeah.
nicer.
instead of returns. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's just way nicer. Control over how you're setting to buses. Everything's just so much smoother for me.
Can you modulate on Logic though?
Yeah. Modulate?
Like yeah.
Yeah, like ride the fader.
Automate,
Yeah.
modulate,
For sure.
automation.
And it's got like so
Really?
many. Flex is actually
Flex
crazy.
as in for like the vocals.
Yeah, flex pitch and flex time.
Really?
Just to make sure that they're actually the right.
Yeah. Flex is actually incredible. Their flex algorithm is nuts.
Huh. See? Logic.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll think about it.
if you're using a lot of whatever, fucking plug Ableton into Logic.
Do
you can crazy shit. Yeah.
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 No, Ableton is awesome for sound designing. I think like that's what got me into producing is like VSTs and like reverb and like all the effects you can add onto shit.
Yeah.
Just like
Ableton, I actually just love the rack that you can like see everything right there. and
Yeah.
Fuck around like
yeah.
right out in
like
the
your
open.
channel is like full of
Super nice.
yeah. Yeah. Fun.
I mean, yeah. There's. No, I won't even bring that up. Fuck it.
What?
No, it's nothing. It's
Say
nothing.
it.
It's not even. It's not interesting enough to talk about.
Why not?
It's just
Everything's
not.
interesting.
No, trust me. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Cheerios.
You like Cheerios?
Cheers.
Cheerios. I haven't had Cheerios in years. Do they even exist still?
Cheerios? Honey Nut Cheerios? Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Really? They got Reese's
Cheerios?
multigrain.
multigrain sounds
That's
like
been
a good
out
time,
though.
bro.
That's like, what is that?
The freeze?
Breeze.
It's a vape?
The fiver.
Okay. This is cool. Who did that?
Oh, yeah. This one is Sick Disco. His name is Neil. I got this one recently.
Fucking sick.
I really
It's
like
like
this one.
tribal, but like with the white highlights.
Yeah.
Super
I
cool.
was excited about this one. And then this
Yeah.
one's a friend from Saskatoon. Just finished this one.
Where are you from?
Waterloo, like an hour away
You're
from
from
here.
Waterloo?
Yeah.
I grew up in Dundas, Ontario.
Dundas, Ontario.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's near Waterloo.
Yeah, but
You don't know?
no.
Like
It's-
Ancaster? No?
Ancaster?
Oh, you're from suburb. Oh
Where
my
you
god,
from?
you don't. You're from.
You're from Belgium? Belleville. Oh,
I'm
okay,
from
okay.
Finland.
Belleville, Ontario. Goddamn. Nice. I still haven't been able to remember what I was just about to ask. Oh yeah.
I'm
well,
not from there, but
How long were you in Dundas, Ontario?
from the age of 4 to 12.
So that had to affect what you were listening to at the time. That had to
Avril
have.
Lavigne.
Yeah.
I was listening to like what do small
Green
town
Day.
Ontario kids
Yeah,
listen to?
Green Day,
Avril
Avril
Lavigne,
Lavigne.
Green Day, The
3
Killers,
Days Grace. Linkin
3 Days
Park.
Grace, Hardcore, 3 Days Grace, yes.
Trapped.
Kings of Leon. I didn't like Nickelback.
That's crazy.
Like it was
It was definitely
playing, but I wasn't.
and no one was turning it off.
No one turned it off. Oh, you know who? Fucking the Hey Soul Sister.
Oh, Train?
That was the Train.
Fucking
Mariana's
Train.
Trench.
Marianne's Trench.
I listened to all of those for sure. Much Music Days. Fucking Lights.
Oh yes.
Lights.
Oh my
Ellie
God.
Goldberg.
I was such a huge Lights
I
fan
got
as
a
a
pocket,
kid.
got a pocket full of sunshine. Huh?
Golding?
Golding. Ellie
Goldberg.
Ellie Golding. Same thing. Same person. Same family.
Did you say she runs a bank? Don't kill
You guys
me.
have to interview him after.
Yeah, no, we definitely
This guy
should.
is definitely your guy for
We
sure.
definitely should. I gotta listen to the records before.
Yeah.
It's been done.
It's been done. You guys already
You're
had
gonna pull
the
the trigger on the
interview?
quad cortex.
Double interviewing.
Yeah, everyone's been thinking about it.
Whoa. Not the
Are you-
monthly subscription.
Are you a gearhead?
What?
Are you a gearhead?
Gear as in what?
Like anything? Do you just like gear like guitar pedals, like whatever?
No, I actually have no idea. I'm you know what? I'm a plug-in head.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a VST head. I don't have any analog stuff except for like a Korg like drum machine. That's it.
Okay,
But
2
I'm
VSTs you're super into right now.
Pigments Atmosphere.
Pigments?
An
Like
Atmosphere.
Arturio's pigments?
Yeah. And
Has it gotten
Atmosphere.
better? Because I
You don't
remember
like
it was
it?
being
No, there's like a
garbage.
Pigments 5
Oh,
now.
okay. I
It's
think
really
I was on,
good.
like 2. I hated pigments at the time.
Really?
It just felt so confusing.
No. That's my
No.
kind of that's my
That's it.
kind of vibe.
And Omni.
What's yours? Yeah.
My top 2 right now?
Yeah.
Don't do the nerd shit. Don't say Saturn or something. Like,
Okay, we're talking VSTs only.
Like
Plugins
synths?
is the next question.
Just like synths.
Yeah, since.
Probably Vital
Vital.
and fuck, I don't know. I use a lot of Vital.
Vital. That's it.
I use Serum too, but Vital.
Serum's cool. It's too you know, like it's
No,
too
you,
like
you can get some good stuff. You can get some chill stuff. Oh, I like the Yuhi stuff a lot. Should I say Yuhi? Like Diva
Nice.
and
Never heard of
Repro
it.
One. Those
Never
two.
heard of it.
I don't know. Since it's still one of those things that I'm not totally sold on, I kind of
Are you analog? Like an analog?
no.
kinda
It's
guy?
not even that. It's just I like starting from just like the wavetables.
Wavetables are sick though.
Yeah, so-
like the stock ones? Or
Yeah, just like starting from scratch and just kind of figuring it out quickly.
your own thing, yeah.
So I like Vital for that. Like, I don't really write too much like poppier or pad heavy stuff. So like the tech house stuff. Oh, actually, shit. How did I not think of this? Phase Plant. I use Phase Plant every day.
What is that? Never
It's
heard of that.
Kilohertz. It's like it's a crazy synth. Like you get into it, and it feels like there's definitely a learning curve, but it gets to the point where I can separate, like if I'm doing bass lines, like really fast, hard rolling bass lines, I can separate out like the lowest harmonic
From the sound, from the actual.
Yeah, from the whole thing completely.
What do you do when you separate it though?
You just get way more control over that harmonic. So I can have the harmonic just swing. And
it's like you're taking the sub out, or
kind of. I'll play you some, but it hits so much harder and you get so much more control.
Interesting.
Which again wouldn't really matter, but just like for psytrance and things like that,
you need that like little.
You need it. Yeah, you just need the kick in that
present.
First harmonic to just crack every time.
Okay, what about plugins?
That's a lot of sauce.
I'll too
tell
much
you.
sauce?
I'm not gonna tell them though. Well, not you, them. Yeah, the goddamn plebs. Standard clip. And
Saturn?
Yeah, probably Saturn.
What does that do?
Saturn's a saturator, like a multi-band saturator.
What do you feel like saturator does? I haven't been able to understand what saturator does.
A lot of the time,
like when it warms up.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's just like if I need more body, or it depends where you put it. But like, let's say you put it on a drum bus. If I need more presence out of the drum stack, like the hats, the snap of the snare. The body of the snare is kind of in the low mids, but like the snap of the snare is right where the hats and like the crashes are. If I need more crack out of that, stick a saturator on, turn up the saturation. It literally just adds more harmonics to that section.
Interesting.
So there's more information there that's related to the information that was already there.
Does it detect the high frequency?
You just create a cut where you want it to start that band. And then
interesting.
I use that on the drum bus to get more crack out of it. And then usually a lot on the snares because he likes loud snares for some reason, like super loud snares.
No, I hate loud snares. I hate high frequency anything. I'm like EQ it.
Oh, it's like in the mid.
Okay, if it's like you want me to like.
Listening to a cymbals actually is what kills me most of the time. Like because mixing cymbals is like you really need to crank to hear cymbals well.
Really? Do you leave them cranked?
No, like you have to crank your headphones. Like you almost need to saturate your headphones to hear what the cymbals are actually doing.
Yeah.
Because I don't have like a great referencing setup. I just have open backs, so I have to crank those fuckers to hear what the cymbals are doing. And also just like now listening to so much hardcore for the last year and a bit. Like
hardcore is very, do you find that the mix is like all
they're
together?
Usually incredible.
The mixing?
Yeah, for some reason.
What's the science to it?
Probably some of the engineers that do that shit are probably like 10, 20-year veterans. Yeah, just doing this shit.
Literally, they just get it.
And it just sounds
because there's so much going on.
Incredible, yeah.
Like even so he had a show on Thursday last week, and it was like a whole thing. Yeah, Lee's Palace. It was a whole thing like trying to figure out how to live sound engineer.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have so much feedback happening with the pedals and like.
Was there a live kit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's already a whole
everything is like, how do you like make sure everything sounds good? And then in their in-ears, like how can he hear himself singing? And like, I think that was like a whole new like perspective to music as well to me. I'm like, if you're actually going to perform, like you got to be like, you have to have someone that knows like how to
of course
front of house sound and like all that.
I mean, there's a reason those are all careers. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
So much to all of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to drag this on forever.
Yeah.
That was a lot of good shit. And
a lot of jibber jabber.
Let's go back out there, do more work, come back if you ever want to sit down again. We're always we're always down.
So down.
But before we wrap, plug what you have coming up, plug your Instas, plug whatever.
My music Instagram is 7777 Violeta 7777. Photography account / creative / video art. Did I do 3? Okay, hold on.
Okay, cut. Start again.
Did I see 3?
I don't know.
I said 4. Yeah, it's 4. Why did you do that? I was good. I like counted them too. I was like, all right.
Start anywhere. You're good.
Blooper. Stop. Okay. Hello. My music DJ account is 7777 Violeta 7777, and my photography / video art / different vibes is viov.jpg. And what I have coming up is music eventually and 2 music videos with 2 really cool artists. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
No, of course.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Talking,
glad we got to meet properly finally.
Yeah.
And that's
amazing.
And that's that.
Yep.